This is Swim, Success with Music. Yo, this is Swim, Success with Music. I am Walt. I am your music coach. Your first house contract fell through. Second contract on the way. Seller, sometimes people make me frustrated, don't want to scream. I won't be a yeller. Yo, let's dive in. If you can't tell, man, I'm still dealing with house issues, but I think we're going to get it done on this one. Yo, hey, I appreciate you tuning into the show today. This is Swim Success with Music. I am Walt, as I mentioned. I am your music coach. This show is for musicians, singers, songwriters, beat makers. Hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in, listening to the program every week. And if by chance you missed us last week, please check out that episode. We had on some special guests, Dr. Stephen Marconi and David Philp. These guys were on talking about things you can do to help your band get more exposure and go to the next level. So please check out that episode if you didn't hear it. And also just go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. That way you can keep up to date with all the new content that we drop for you guys. And yeah, one more announcement. I said this a couple of weeks ago. The book JingleMoney is now available on Amazon. JingleMoney is a book about creating music for commercials and how you can actually get paid for doing that. So make sure you check out the book. It's a phenomenal read. It's a very easy read for those that really are not into that whole reading thing. And I'm not saying that as a joke. I'm one of these people. I don't like reading these huge, long, wordy books. JingleMoney is quite different. It's a step-by-step guide that will help you make money writing music for commercials. And it goes through a lot more than just that part of the industry. It goes through creating good melodies. It goes through copyrights, being a music entrepreneur, a lot of stuff. So yeah, check it out. JingleMoney. It's out there on Amazon. All right, so for this week, I want to just go ahead and get straight to our topic. I want to talk about some practical things that will help you become more successful in this music game here. And the reason why I'm bringing this up and I want to get right to it is I actually got a call today, and I have to kind of tell you the whole story here. So I got a call, and it was from a lady, and she was calling about her son. And quite frankly, it was kind of a weird call at first. I'm like, so why are you calling me to tell me about your son? So let me tell you what the story is here. So her son is in college, and he's been doing some different things in college, different courses, different classes. And in his most recent experience, he's enrolled in a music production related college, which is awesome. I am a big advocate of that. But the issue is her son basically feels that he's not really getting a lot out of his experience at college, and he just simply wants to drop out. So, and just so you know, today's program is not about people dropping out of college and getting a music education. You know, if you're in college, if you can, stick it out, finish it out. If you left or what have you, this is not an episode about beating you up about people who did not finish. The thing that I want to focus on is her son is basically frustrated because he's looking to move to that next level in his music career. He's going and taking all these classes. He just does not see any benefit in doing so. He feels that he just wants to get out there and just make it happen. So I just want to address that part for our podcast today. A lot of you guys are in similar positions, whether you've completed college, are in college, don't plan on going to college. You simply want to make things happen musically. So here's the thing. When his mother called, and again, it's kind of weird she called, but I understand she's looking out for her son. But if that's you, don't make your mom call. People, you pick up the phone and call. Yeah, you get the information. Don't let your mom do it. It's kind of, all right, we'll leave that alone. Again, much respect to the mom because she's trying to help her son out. But if you happen to be someone out there trying to grind it out on that music level, do your own homework. And apparently her son wasn't listening to her, and that's really why she called, because she's like, hey, listen, I need to know if I'm crazy because he's telling me, this is the mom talking now, that because I don't make beats, I don't know about different current music styles or whatever, that everything that I have to say is irrelevant. And she was asking me, hey, so what do you suggest? What can he do? Because he's not listening to me. And I want to share some of the things that we talked about today. I wish I could have recorded this conversation because we talked for quite a while, and I went through a lot of information with her in terms of things her son should be doing, can do, and should be focused on. And I really want to share some of that with you today because, again, I think it will have a lot of value for those of you who are really looking to figure out what can you do just to get things going musically. All right. So her son, he's out there, he's doing this thing, and he's been, and for him specifically, he's doing a lot of, making a lot of beats. He's bought a lot of software for editing and creating music. Again, a phenomenal thing, a phenomenal investment to go down that road, but he's stuck. He doesn't have a place to really flourish with his music. She mentioned to me, his mom, that he's put some music out there. There's been a few people that they've picked it up. They've used it in their songs. And in some instances, quite frankly, she said that people have used his music and not really even given him credit for it. So she's saying, hey, Walt, what do you recommend? Where can he go to get a music job? Now, in our city, we're not like in some major music center. We're not in New York. We're not in Nashville. We're not in LA. So she's like, hey, so where can my son go to get his music career started? Where in town can he put his musical talents to work? So if you go to, like Indeed.com or whatever, you're not going to find these music jobs in our city anyways. I don't know what it's like in New York and these other places that I mentioned, but here you're not going to find a music job. Trust me, over the years, I've gone online and just typed in music jobs and just hope that, I don't know, producer will come up and like, oh, you guys need a producer? Oh, you need a songwriter? You need a beat maker? Those jobs are not out there. Here's the thing. Music is a highly, highly competitive industry. It's a highly competitive field. Don't let that discourage you, by the way. But I do want to tell you the reality of it. And this is what I was doing for this guy's mom today. I was just telling her that, hey, listen, let your son know that everyone wants to be about that music life. And that's a good thing. But if he is to make it in this music game, he's not going to just go on to the internet and Google and find a music job where he's getting paid like crazy amounts of money. It's just not the case. Here's the first piece of advice that I gave her son. And I want you to hear what I'm saying. I want you to hear the principle of what I'm going to tell you and see if this is something that you can apply to your situation. So the first thing I told her in terms of helping her son get out there and get some exposure is I told her to have her son go and work for free. Go and try to find an unpaid internship. Now, please just stick with me because I know some of you guys right now are not even trying to hear free work. I know that you're not even trying to hear going to work and not getting paid for it, but I want you to hear what I'm saying here. There is a business philosophy out there, and it goes like this. In the marketplace, your value can come from one or two things. It comes from experience, or your value comes from how much money you have. A lot of us, we're still we're out here trying to make that money. We're trying to grow financially. So the only other thing that you have in the business arena, you have experience. Well, if you don't have experience, you really don't have any impact in the business world. So if you think about the music game, if you don't have experience, like professional experience as a producer, as a singer, as a songwriter, you don't have Grammy nominated songs, or you don't have Grammy sitting on your shelf, you don't have a track record of things that you can point to that is widely recognized in the industry, then your value is not very high. On the other side, if you, let's say, have money, you have a huge multi-million-dollar studio, whatever, you can make whatever kind of music you want because you have the money to do so, and you really don't care, right? You can self-fund your music initiatives. You can go indie and put your music out there and create videos and pay for all your social media marketing and all that stuff if you have the money. So again, you need one or two things. Either you need the money or you need experience. So for this guy, I recommended that he simply go out and invest and get that experience. When I say invest, he's basically losing money to gain experience. He's not getting paid. So I want you to think about that. If you're a bit younger, or even if you're older, and if you can find some spare hours here or there to go volunteer, go get involved with some type of internship, I don't care what your age is, go do it. Because if you can get into that professional environment and get that experience, once you have the experience, no one can take that away from you. So let me give you some places where I recommended that this guy go to with respect to music. And what I want to tell you may seem like a little detour here, but hang with me. I told the mom to tell her son one place he needs to reach out to is a production house. A production house is a place where you have a company that will create media content for businesses, for commercials, sometimes for film. They do things like the video, they do sound, and that's kind of where I'm getting to here. They do copywriting, meaning creating like words for things. They do editing, they do 3D design and graphic design. The point is, I told her to have her son go out and see if he can find some type of apprenticeship or some type of internship or volunteer at a production house, because that will get him closer to doing maybe some audio editing. And maybe if they give him a shot at doing some minor audio editing, maybe he can get involved with doing, let's say, music selection for certain things like videos. And then you can move into saying, hey, I have original content. And this won't happen overnight, by the way, but that's the logic behind it. Just get in the door. Just get into place to where you can actually learn some of these skills that will actually even help you doing your editing for your music. So another place you can reach out to will be a TV station, a radio station. I mentioned to her that her son could even go and do the same thing with some of the studios around town. There are a few large studios around in our city where I told her, like, hey, have your son go out and just even volunteer to bring people coffee or water or whatever. Because in our city, and this probably is true of your city, you may not know this, sometimes major bands are in the city recording maybe some vocals, or maybe their guitarists live in your neck of the woods and they're laying down some tracks and sending them out to LA. You never know who's recording in your local studio. You may think, I live in X, Y, and Z town, I'm nowhere near the music centers. You will be surprised. So the point is, if you're not around it, and this is really the next point here, no one will know who you are. So she was saying that the son was like, hey, I'm hot. My beats are fire, whatever. That's great. Everyone thinks their music is hot. Everyone thinks their music is fire. That's fine. The point is, if no one knows about it, if you're not in contact with people who can use your music, who cares? So her son putting himself in media environments at a TV station, at a radio station, even if it's being done for free, it gives him that exposure. So then that's my next piece of advice for you. And I already kind of mentioned it. You need to be in an environment where someone can recognize who you are. If you think that environment is hanging out on social media, talking about, hey, look at my track or listen to my music, it's like, are you going to actually get the attention that you need? Probably not. I would rather take being in the same studio and handing coffee to, I don't know, a drummer for a nationally known act than putting up weird selfies on Facebook, standing in front of my mirror talking about I'm about that life. Get yourself in front of place. Get yourself in an environment where you can actually meet people and have opportunities to rub shoulders with people in the industry. And again, you may do this without getting any money, but it's an investment. It's something that you actually should pay money to get exposure to. All right, let me move on to the next thing that I discussed with this lady today. Now, I just mentioned putting yourself in a position to work in these different media environments, though it may not seem like these media environments are music focused, other than the studio recommendation. listen, if you are able to put yourself in one of